I think I'm stuck between two excellent options, and I think whichever way I choose, I don't think there's a wrong decision.
Getting information from your peer group and getting information from your parents is different from getting information from a counselor who has helped many kids go through the process.
If I were to ask you to describe Rostrum in 3 words, what would they be?
3 words. I've been with Rostrum for almost 2 years now. So at the end of grade 10, I started working with Rostrum, and I was talking a lot with the Rostrum team about building my profile and how to expand on it and in such a way that it helps boost my chances of admission. It was preparing me for the kind of academic discussions I would need to have throughout the process. We were practicing work on writing, which would eventually help me a lot in my essays.
And whenever we needed an appointment, we got an appointment. Whenever we needed any assistance, we got assistance. Whenever we needed any guidance, we got the guidance. So it's been very smooth.
I think it's been a very, very helpful journey for me. I think I've had a wonderful experience working with Rostrum. I've really not had any difficulties. Whenever I've needed something, they've been very quick to respond. I've really appreciated my counselors. Gwyn helped me keep up to date with world events. Like I couldn't recommend Rostrum more.
I think what happens when you get a counselor on board is that it takes the stress off the parent. If you are going through it for the first time, then you may not know the timelines, the deadlines, and then when you miss something, sometimes it's a little too late, or it causes even more stress or pile up of work towards the end of the journey. So what happens with the counselor is that they help you maintain sort of a calendar that this is due here, this is due here, and they push you to deliver, they push the child to deliver at the right time.
For somebody who's at the same age as you right now, what message would you tell them, in terms of helping them understand that having a mentor or an organization like Rostrum, is important for them?
When you start, at the end of grade 10 or at the start of grade 11, you're sort of really entering the heat of it. In grade 12, particularly the month of October, because if you're applying to Oxford, you have your UCAS due then. If you're applying to the US, you have your early applications due then. You also have to finish your Common App essay, and these are sort of the first applications you write. And so it only gets easier once you've written the first few. But the first few applications, you have to spend so many hours. You're constantly reading every single word, doubting every line you've written. And that becomes a really stressful period. Having a counselor or mentor helps you do is understand where you should put in those hours. And that makes your journey and your life so much easier.
If I were to ask you to describe Rostrum in 3 words, what would they be?
3 words. Committed, helpful, and understanding. I think the third one's really important because I think everyone at the Rostrum team was super understanding of my different time commitments because of the number of extracurricular activities I was doing. And I really appreciated how they worked around my schedule and how they helped me despite being so busy all the time.
What side are we planning to choose between Oxford and Yale?
I think I'm stuck between two excellent options, and I think whichever way I choose, I don't think there's a wrong decision.
It's a tough choice, but it's a good position to be in, to have 2 of the best universities. But at the end of the day, it's his choice to make. So there's actually no pressure from our side.
2 hoodies for you, one for Oxford and one for Yale, whichever way you end up going.
Having a mentor really gives you that kind of guidance on where to put in your efforts and where putting in the work will pay off.